We're joined live by Monica Vaswani, warning preparedness meteorologist with Environment and Climate Change Canada. Monica, thanks so much for being here. I mean, Environment Canada warned us that this was coming. You've now changed the projection a little bit higher when it comes to snow accumulation, 20 to 40 centimeters of snow. Tell me what I guess you've seen in the change of the model to change the predictions.
This storm has been a particularly tough one to forecast. Unfortunately, us meteorologists, we rely on our knowledge and expertise of the environment, the atmospheric sciences that we've studied, but we also rely on computer models to help us to predict the weather. And unfortunately, over the last couple of days, models have been flip-flopping. They weren't really sure about what was going to happen, and they really started to paint a grim picture for today only yesterday, and that's when we started to issue those warnings. Now, as of about 8 a.m. this morning, the snowfall warning that started as a yellow warning was upgraded to orange. And that's our second tier of alert. And what that really means is this is not your run-of-the-mill snowstorm. This is something that could last, at least in terms of impacts, a series of days, not just one day. We're also looking at snowfall amounts exceeding 30 centimeters in a 24-hour period. So that is quite a significant amount of snow for any community, but especially the GTA, which is especially vulnerable to high snowfall amounts.
I know this new color model is relatively new for Environment Canada. So when you make the decision to go from yellow to orange, I guess what's the threshold that you're looking for to say, hey, this is actually worse than what we thought it was going to be?
Yes. So the orange snowfall amounts that we're looking for range between 30 and 60 centimeters within a 24-hour period. So we're already in that category once we got into the 30 and 40 centimeter mark. So that's the weather portion of it. Now we look at the impacts, and the impacts are going to depend on the community. So in this case, we're looking at snow days, for example, that could possibly linger more than a day. Emergency officers trying to get to people in need and taking extended periods of time to get there as a result of the weather. We're just generally looking at impacts that will exceed that one-day period. And basically, in other words, getting close to crippling the city, unfortunately.
I guess, is that what we're looking at now, the potential to cripple the city? And I'm sure a lot of parents are probably watching thinking, hey, is tomorrow going to be a snow day as well? Do I have to make arrangements for Toronto specifically, and maybe just outside York Region, Durham, and the western portion? Is that what you're looking at, a potential multi-day event now?
We are looking at a potential multi-day event, but I want to be clear that the multi-day event being the impacts, not the snow. So the snow itself is expected to end, generally speaking, for the GTA later this afternoon. But the effects of the snow, for example, clearing operations may take longer than one day, especially in areas like residential communities, for example. The other thing, the good news is for many communities, I know tomorrow's a PA day, so hopefully that's going to help with cars on the road, for example, but we could have impacts to the roads, to our services well into tomorrow. That's definitely a possibility.
I know you've got, Environment Canada team members all across the province already doing measurements and things like that. Where are you seeing the most accumulation, at least up until this point, Monica?
Yes, so officially at last check, Pearson had received 18 centimeters of snow. However, if we look at the GTA as a whole, we have had reports as high as 40 centimeters in North Scarborough. And really the reason for that is because we did have a very heavy band of snow that set up just between the 401 and the 407. So really that North Scarborough, Markham sort of community has been impacted particularly hard. The good news is, though, that particular band of snow has weakened and it's starting to push off to the northeast.
Monica Vaswani, warning preparedness meteorologist with Environment Canada and Climate Change Canada. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon, for all that information.